Today's video is brought to you by Quintus, the dual control screen light bar. Have you ever finished a workday feeling like you've just run a marathon with your eyes? That was me until I clipped the Quintus dual control screen light bar onto every single one of my monitors. Here's why it's a game changer for eye strain. The weighted clip and counterbalance design mean it stays perfectly level even if you've got an ultra wide or a sleek 4K. Plus, its asymmetrical beam lights up your desk, not your screen, so you get bright, even illumination without any nasty glare bouncing back at you. And about making colors look right, think of the light bar as giving you natural daylight vibes, so reading, text, editing photos, or even planning your next epic gaming raid feels way more comfortable. No more washed out or overly yellow hues. Since I put one on each monitor, my eyes feel fresher, my focus is sharper, and late night work isn't a pain anymore. Give your eyes and your desk a huge upgrade. Snag a Quintus dual control screen light bar today. Hey everyone, it's Tristan from Crafting Worlds, and today we're going to be talking about a full-size keyboard that is Hall effect. Yep. You heard me right. We are going to be talking about the Keychron Q6 HE. This, as we know, the Keychron Q3 and the Keychron Q5 are two of my top favorite keyboards. And the Hall effect version of the Q3 is also one of my favorites. And this, there is productivity in Hall effect. I know a lot of people don't believe it. It's just for gaming. It's a buzzword right now. I disagree. So there's multiple reasons why I disagree, and we'll get into that in a second. But just know that if you're looking for a full-size keyboard from the Hall effect world, this is going to be a 100% recommend. You don't have to wait to the end, but if you'd like to know why, then please watch. As always, like, subscribe, leave a comment below with your own thoughts. I love to engage with you all. And let's just jump into this. So yeah, the Keychron Q6 HE. Why is it a favorite of mine? Well, it's quite simply put, it's quiet, it's a full size, so it has the full number pad. It's got everything in between the number pad, the arrows, the page up, page down, delete, and all that stuff. It has the beautiful stock keycaps that come with it, and it has the Nebula switches, which feel smooth to the touch, and they are super quiet, and it's almost kind of like tapping on quiet marbles, and it's soft to type on, and it is just, I don't know, I feel more productive on this keyboard. When I bust this out and I am working, I enjoy myself very much. And then let's say I want to, slack off a little bit, get a game, and I don't have to be like, oh man, I need my Hall effect keyboard to game. I have it. It's right here. And that's why I think this is the perfect productivity keyboard in general. Like, I know, look, there are a lot of switches out there. There are a lot of mechanical keyboards out there, and a lot of them feel really good and sound really good. But I don't know, there's something about Hall effect that makes my typing faster. I don't know how to explain it. I just know that it happens. I can show you. I mean, if you go and you look at my top all-time typing speed and accuracy, it's the Wooting. So my point is that Hall effect doesn't have to be just for gaming. It can be for productivity, especially because you can go into the software and you can specify the actuation point. So I have mine at 2.3, and that just feels right. I get way less typos this way, and I get a nice typing sensation from it. But let me do the sound test now, because when I'm explaining the sound, I want you to understand why I'm explaining it. So we're going to do a sound test right now. So as you can hear, it is a very quiet, office-friendly sound. It's just non-invasive. The Nebula switches that Keychron makes exclusively for this board are really smooth and they feel very nice to type on. They just have a really good actuation. Plus them with their OSA profile double shot PBT keycaps. Oh man, these feel great. And they just, I don't know, to me, these are the nicest angle and design to type on. So that combined with the Hall effect goodness, and you have this very customizable experience that you can play around with. And I think a lot of people think that Hall effect is just for gaming, but you can go in there and adjust your actuation to your typos. So what does that mean? It means that, let's say that like at 2.0 actuation, I feel like I get a lot of typos when I'm typing. If I set that to like 2.1, 2.2, wherever it is that I'm misclicking, it's going to just not register it. And so therefore the typo doesn't happen. Interesting, right? So that's why I like Hall effect for productivity. Then you mix it with a full-size board and, you know, it's happy times. But let's take a look at this baby. So yeah, here it is. It is a brick. Keychron always makes, you know, very, very solid boards. They've got your USB, they've got Windows and Mac switches, they've got Bluetooth, wireless, and your normal USB connection. And then they've got the knob, they've got the entire, you know, everything here. It's just beautiful. They even got some extra keys that you can turn into macros if you so choose. I like to do calculator and some other stuff. And yeah, it's got a nice sound on the spacebar, as you heard. It's got nice modifier sounds. The whole thing is well balanced in terms of sound. And so that, to me, is one of the nicest things about the Keychron Hall effect boards, is that they just come good to go. You don't have to modify this. You just are good to go. So if you want a full-size keyboard that has Hall effect and is good for productivity, and if you want to do a little gaming on it, this is it. Like, you know, you could run out of mouse space when you're doing this, but honestly, for those of you that want just one keyboard, this would be my choice. Obviously, your colorway and your choices, they have the nice red and stuff like that. So, I mean, look, it's gorgeous. Like, there's the nice red and black, and then they have this one, and they have their own keys that they sell. And look, all of the fillings to make it sound really lovely and to feel really nice when you type on it. So it's soft to the touch. It doesn't feel like you're bottoming out. It's just really, really well done. And it's got all the inputs. It comes with the very good launcher, which is right here. And you can adjust per key. You can, if you want to go into the super gaming stuff, you can. It has all that rapid trigger, snappy tappy, you know, analog mode, all this stuff. It has everything you would want from a Hall effect keyboard. And it's very easy to just select a key and then change the actuation of those keys. And, you know, you can have 3 profiles, you can key map, you can change your keys. They just have really good software. You can change the way that the lights are. You can add different RGB effects. You can add macros. You can upgrade your firmware. You can do key testing. It's just the software. They really put a lot of love and effort into it. So I always say, highly recommend Keychron software. Now let's scroll up here. So you see analog mode. This is for like if you want to replicate a gamepad. You have multi-actions, 1 keystroke. So this is basically exactly what it sounds like. Dynamic trigger, so you can get that nice fast, you know, attack, you know, nice fast FPS gaming. Adjustable actuation point, which I really think is great for typing and gaming. So, and then here's their Gateron double rail magnetic Hall effect switches, which I think have a very smooth feeling, because a lot of switches for Hall effect can get scratchy over time. And I find these are still very nice to type on, and they come right with the board. Just know you cannot put other switches that are not made by, you know, Keychron in there. So they have 3 different choices: a lighter version, a heavier version, and then the Nebula that comes with it, which is the middle ground. And it looks really nice. It's very well designed. It has the extra, you know, function keys on the keys themselves, which I really like. That's just a personal preference of mine. I know a lot of love goes into these Keychron keyboards. And yeah, I don't know. Look at these. They're gorgeous. So fully assembled out of the box, it's $249. So that is the one downside to these. But for a full-size keyboard of this, magnitude, I feel like you are getting your money's worth. But a lot of people are going to see that and they're going to go, nope, not for me. And for you, I say that is totally fine. There are a lot of budget Hall effect keyboards, full-size keyboards, and everything. I've reviewed a million of them on this channel. You can go back and check some of those. So this is if you want like one keyboard to rule them all and you don't want to have to buy another one. And I really do stand behind the idea that Hall effect is really, really helpful. Once you understand how to change your actuations a little bit on your keys and how to figure out where that point between typo and fast typing is, it's a wonderful way to overcome sometimes, I'm a dragger. I drag my keys across. I drag my hand across the keyboard when I type. So being able to make it so if I hit a key, it doesn't actuate is important. And so I want it to know I intentionally hit this key, not I dragged my pinky over it by accident and I hit it. So that is a really, really good benefit to Hall effect and why I think that Hall effect and productivity go hand in hand. The keyboard itself, it has a nice angle. You're not going to have to change that. You don't need any more feeties. There's nothing crazy about it. It doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. It's not super RGB intensive. It just is there and says, hey, I am your keyboard. You know what I mean? So there's nothing over the top. And I think a lot of people are going to like that for an office setting or for a home office or just for something to be subtle on their desk. Nothing over the top. Pros for this board: great software, great switches out of the box, great build right out of the box, great keycaps, great RGB, even if you don't want to use it. Great connectivity. It has wireless and Bluetooth and up to 3 different connections. And then cons would be it's super heavy. Some people may not like that. For some people, the full size might be a con, but that's kind of the point of this video, is a full size Hall effect keyboard. Another con might be that you have to stick with Keychron switches. You can't switch to a different companies like say Gateron's Jade Pros or something like that are tried and true. You have to stick with these. However, I would say that they are a very good switch, and why I would recommend this for productivity is partly because of those switches and how they sound and how quiet they are. So that is also a pro. I think the biggest con is going to be the price. For a lot of people, $249 for a keyboard is going to be a little bit out there. So it's just something to think about. But if you're looking to invest in something that's going to last a while, Hall effect is really the way to go. These switches last longer than normal mechanical switches. They have a really nice feeling. And once you figure out that actuation and the software, I am telling you, you are going to type faster, have less typos, and you're going to find that margin of error and be able to fix it in your own typing. So anyway, let me know what you think. Do you like this keyboard? Do you like Hall effect? Would you consider a full-size Hall effect for productivity, for work? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you liked the video, a like. If you hated it, dislike twice. And subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications. And as always, I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.